Hi, hello, it's Pip here from queenpipcards.com. Thank you for joining me today. Today I am showing you how to make this little dog kennel gift box. The idea came to me because I have a few friends who are getting new dogs. Some of them are getting puppies, some of them are rescuing, and I thought, oh, it'd be so nice if I could just give them a little gift. You know, in here I would fit something like a name tag to go on the dog's collar, or just a bit of bling, depending. You know, they might want a bit of bling on their collar. So just a little tiny gift to give to somebody who's having a new puppy or a rescue dog. It says just for you with the fur. It's got bones and hearts on it. And I wanted to make it look like the kennel from the stamp set Happy Tales. So I used this wood textures designer series paper. That's the word I'm looking for. Designer series paper. So this is the card that I would give to them with it. Keep calm and wag on, because you know, when you have a new dog you do have to keep calm a little bit because things might go a little bit messy. I've brought the copper trim from the doghouse kennel into the card here as well, and this is actually the reverse of this, so you could use either on your doghouse. I thought that looked like the tiling on the roof, the kind of layered look that they had on the stamp. And I've just punched the dog. I haven't stamped him or anything, but you could obviously stamp him depending on what kind of dog they're getting. And then I've just put some little hearts on there. So it's a coordinating card and gift box, but we're just going to concentrate on the gift box today because the card is really simple. I'll put the dimensions for the card in my blog post. Okay, so this is where we start. All right, with our little doghouse. We're going to start with a piece of Sahara sand, and we're going to cut it down 10 centimeters. So I've just got a piece that I've already used before, so 10 centimeters in width is what we want. There we go, chop that bit off, don't need that. And then we're going to do 17 and a half. So 17 and a half, which is literally just past this gappy bit here. It's just here before the 7. 17 and a half. There's 18. So oops, I'm going to chop that off. Don't need that bit, get rid of that bit. And then we're going to score the long edge at 3 centimeters. So I'm going to use this 3 that's here. So 3 centimeters. Okay. Then I'm going to turn it. So that's 3. So I'm going to turn it and do 8 because it's just easier doing the 3 on the other side. It stops it bending. So then 8 centimeters and then 11 centimeters. Okay, and then I'm going to open this up and I'm going to use this side to do 1.5 centimeters. Okay, and then we're going to turn it round this way. So you can see hopefully that you've got a 3 centimeter, then this is 5, this is 3, this is 5, this is 1.5. At least that's what I hope it is. Yes, 10 and 15. Cool. So 1.5, 5, 3, 5, 3. Okay, that's what you're after. And then you're going to do the short edge. And again, I'm going to use this side of my trimmer. And I'm just going to do 3 centimeters and 3 centimeters because the doghouse is 4 centimeters high but 5 wide, if that makes sense. Okay, and that's it. That is all the scoring you need to do. Now when it's like this is when I actually stamped mine, and you're going to know that this little tab here is going to go to the back. Okay, and tuck under, where's mine? Tuck under here. So if that tucks under, then you know that this is the back side, this is the side, this is the front. Okay, does that make sense? Because that's going to tuck behind. So it's going to go like behind here. This is the front, 2 sides, back, and then it's going to tuck around here. Okay, so this is the front. So now let's get stamping. Obviously we need the Happy Tales stamp set, which comes as a bundle with the dog punch, so that's handy because we're going to use the dog punch in a minute. And you need these 2 stamps which is the inside and the outside of the house. And you're going to need a bone stamp and a little heart stamp. I didn't do the outline, I did the solid heart. I thought I'd rather have a solid heart. Okay, oh, and then we're going to need the just for you. Okay. Obviously you could put different sentiment on it. You know, if you wanted to send something as a little gift to say sorry that they've lost their dog, you know, you could even do the so sorry for your loss and make the card into a best friend leaves a paw print on your heart. You know, I love this stamp set. I'm so glad we've got it. So that's what we're going to do for that. Let's mount these up. So our dog never stayed in his dog kennel. We used to have a crate for him in the house, and he got so big he couldn't sit up without his ears going through the top of the crate. Bless him. And to be honest, he didn't really like it. He much preferred being on his soft bed in front of the radiator. So we just gave up in the end. Okay, so then the colours that I've used for this are Early Espresso and Soft Suede. So Soft Suede is going to be for the actual kennel, like the body of it, because, you know, I mean, you could make it any colour you want. This is just me, okay? So remember that when you do yours, you can make it whatever colour you want. Blue, black, pink, sparkly bits. You just want to make sure that you're in the centre of the I forgot my pad. Never mind. Put it in the centre of your doghouse. Doghouse? No, centre of your box. And we're just going to let it soak in. Let's see, I've missed a bit there. So let's go back. Let's go back. Missed just a bit there. That's because I need my pad. I'm going to get my pad for the next one. Okay, there we go. That's better. So, oh no, that's the wrong. Where has it gone? There we go. So yeah, just try and make sure you have ink everywhere. I did have ink everywhere. I just didn't press it down enough, but never mind. And then it doesn't really matter whether they're the same. Oh look, I've got ink on my corner now. Awful, shocking. What are you going to be thinking? Let's go there. It's difficult for me to see up where my things are. No excuses. That's better. Much better. Okay, let's clean that off. Get rid of my offending corner. Okay, so now you're going to go back in. I'm not too bothered about that because we're going to go back in with Early Espresso. Excuse my old versus new pads. Make sure you've got good coverage so you can see it's inked all over. And then we're going to go straight in, straight down again. Should have put my other glasses on. Come on. It's just tricky finding where the roof is, because it's higher than the rest of it, if you know what I mean. It's just a little bit higher. So this bottom line on your stamp actually doesn't go down to the bottom of the stamp. It stamps just above, so that the house just sits above that. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same here. House just above, make sure it's in line. There we go. Alright, so that's our doghouse, nicely done. And that is all the stamping that I actually did. The rest of these items I cut out and attached on, so we don't need to do any more stamping just this minute. So let's clean that off, pop that away. Okay, so now we're going to assemble the box, which is very simple. I do love a simple box assembly. No trickiness involved. You're just going to go straight up and down that edge, straight up and down that edge, and then along all of these. Now this box is a box that is stuck down. Despite the fact that it's got a ribbon loop through its top, it is stuck. But you know, you want to have your gift come out easily, but also be secure. So I'll show you how I've done it, which I think will be a good way of doing that. Okay, so next we're going to just chop off these bits. Don't need that. Don't need that. Okay. You're going to make sure that these base bits are just pinched in just a slight amount. You don't need to go wild. Just make sure that you've got, oh hello, that's a bit crooked. There we go. Just take off just a little tiny piece so that it's got room to manoeuvre. That's what I call it. As you put it into place, doesn't overhang. Okay, so that's the bottom done. Now the top, you need the these two side pieces to actually stay straight with no, so don't pinch anything out from those. Okay, make sure you just go straight down the line. If you're going to pinch anything, pinch the one under, you know, this side of it. Just take a little sliver off that side. Okay, and exactly the same here, so it needs to be straight because these are your roof pieces, that's why. Okay, and you don't want your roof to have angled bits on it. Again, here you can just take this piece off. You don't need that. You just need to be left with a little tab. Oops. Come on. There we go. And then here we haven't taken a piece off this, so let's just go back here. Just take that piece off there. There we go. Okay, so we get rid of all that. Don't need any of that. Alrighty, so this is how it looks. Okay, does that make sense? You can see the gaps now, but hopefully you can see that these are pretty, bottom ones doesn't matter, but the top ones, hopefully you can see that the tabs are straight. This one's a little bit weird, don't know what quite happened there. That's a bit odd. So let's just go in here and straighten that up. Sometimes they kind of curl a bit. Where's that gone? There we go. Better, better. But these two tabs are the important bit. They need to be flat and straight. Because the next thing we're going to do is we're going to stick on some DSP. Now, I've taken this. Where's the other bit? I've taken this DSP. It's part of a larger piece of paper, so you can see that this was a 6x6, and I've just taken the corner off. The reason why I've done that is because I wanted these lines to be sort of straight, like kind of that way up and down, but actually I've decided it doesn't really matter, so I arranged them so they were almost straight, but I don't think it makes a blind bit of difference. So we're just going to chop this one up. And we're going to chop this into, it needs to be 3 centimetres, what am I doing, come on, it needs to be 3 centimetres in depth and 3 centimetres in width. So we're just going to chop 3 and 3. There we go. See, I don't think it matters which way around. I was trying to be extra clever, extra fancy. And it doesn't make a blind bit of difference. Okay, so now we've got those two pieces. They are going to go and get stuck on here. So I glue this because it's just easier then, because they go the whole, in fact I'll do them one at a time. They're going to go the whole length. Yeah, they're going to go the whole length and width of that. Alright. In fact, if it actually overlaps a bit, that doesn't matter. That's quite nice, because then it'll stick out the same as the, when we bend it, it'll stick out a little bit the same as the house. So right over here, just make sure that the glue's not going to come over the sides. That's all you really need to worry about. And then I can put this one on here like this. Okay. Alrighty. Good. That looks good. So see, you can kind of see how it's coming together now, hopefully, as it's assembling. I'm going to now chop the holes out of these two pieces, and our 1/8 of an inch punch is a limited supply. The unfortunately the manufacturers are now telling us that they won't be able to make it anymore. So once our stocks have gone, they've gone. Now I haven't got the 1 1/8 punch because I already had this crocodile from when we used to sell them before. I don't know whether we're going to go back to crocodiles. I don't know that information, but I still have this and it works fine. So you just, whatever hole punch you've got that will take out a small hole. And if you want to buy our 1 1/8, I can't, no, just 1/8, not 1 1/8. Then I have put the details below, but as I say, it's on a while stocks last basis, so if it's not there, I apologise, but it's already gone. Okay, so now we're going to take a bit of twine. Actually, it's linen thread. Sorry, this is our linen thread. Get that right. So that's ready. You just need a little piece like that. This is basically, we're just going to use this to hold on the tag and tie the tag to the box. So the next thing we need to do is the tag. So for the tag, we're going to take that piece of cardstock that we didn't use earlier, and what did I do that in? Early Espresso, I think. So back to our Early Espresso. We're going to, oh, a bit stiff that one. I'm so glad they've changed the designs of the pads. I really like the new pads. I mean, I liked the foam on these better than the old felt for most things, but I'm just glad that we've got the new cases because they're really nice. So easy to use. So popping down just for you, I'm then going to grab my classic label punch, which looks like this. Pop that in there and just punch that out. There we go. Nothing like a good punch of something, just comes out nicely. And then we're going to put another hole in this, again using the same punch as we did for the other one. Just be careful because it is a small piece of card, so just make sure that you've got room either side. There we go, like that. Alright, well, we're on the home stretch now, which is good. So the next thing we're going to need to do is, I think we might as well put it together because we can do the little hearts and bones and everything later. So let's pop it together. So we're going to start by doing our side flap. So just to show you where I'm gluing, it's easier if I do it on the black. I'm just gluing all the way along there, but not coming right to the edges, just like that. Okay, flip it over, and then all you need to do is close this one over and you'll get a perfect join. Okay, very simple. Just as I say, be careful it doesn't ooze out underneath because you don't want to be sticking the two ends together, two sides together. Okay, so that's that. So now you've got your box shape. Now you're just going to fold these in. Remember which one is your back, this one. So you want all the cardstock facing backwards. So this is going to be the front with a nice flush front. Okay, so this is how I do it. It's fine until my boxes are slightly too small for me to do this with. I put glue on there, stick that down, and then a bit of glue over here actually. Make sure that's got enough glue that it's going to stick the whole thing down. And then I put glue on this piece here, like this. Flip that over, stand it straight up, hold it, take my glue, and then press it down from this side because it's got a lovely flat base on this glue, and so it's really great. You can use your bone folder as well. That's also a good use. You know, make sure it's in there. But our multi-purpose glue has multiple purposes. So right, so that's where you would put your treat, your present. It's quite a large, you know, opening really. So couldn't quite fit a Ferrero Rocher into it. It's not quite square enough for that. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to close these flaps down because these are the ones we're going to tie together with a bow. I don't want this flapping up, but at the same time I don't want my recipient to have a hard time in unpopping that. So I'm just going to pop 2 little dobs of glue like that, and then I'm going to leave it for a bit, just for a moment, because that allows it to just take the edge off and makes it repositionable, so it should stick down without popping up. but they've only got 2 parts there then that they have to worry about. Okay, so we're just going to leave that there for a moment, and while we do that, I'm going to get some more cardstock in here. I have one of my strips that I cut off. You know, every time I cut my paper into 4, I get left with these lovely strips, and they're great for doing small stamping on. So we're going to use that, and we're going to do the bones and the heart. Now, if you don't want to do the fussy cutting of the bones, you could just do hearts. I don't, you know, it's up to you. I like the bones, I think they're cute, but you don't have to do them. They are not mandatory in any way, shape or form. I did 1, 2, 3, 4 hearts because I put 2 on either side, 1 at the front and 1 on the little tag. So I need 1 more. There we go. And then in what's this thing? Yeah, Sahara sand. That's what I'm using. In the Sahara sand, I'm going to use that for the bone. Okay, and I'm going to do a couple of those. I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me cut those out. Fussy cut the bones out. I'll zoom it through. But the hearts, we're going to use the punch, so it's very simple. I've stamped them in this direction on purpose because you're going to just pop them in here, and this means that if you stamped them from the other end, you'd be chopping off a large amount of cardstock as you go through, probably the ones you've just stamped. So you just pop him in, pop him out, pop him in, get him straight, pop him out, and see how the other bits are now chopping off at the same time. So you always want to just check the way you're stamping and punching. There we go. Whoop. Okay, and then the little, just make sure you've got all your bits out. Don't want to leave any bits in. If you leave bits in, that's how they tend to get jammed, punches. So we can just pop a little bit of glue on the end of here. There we go. And that's that heart. Just there. Like that. Oops, no, don't move. There we go. Okay, and then I did just literally cut these bones out. And they don't take very long. You're just going around like this, and like this. The bit in here is a little bit tricky, but just don't worry about it. Go with it. Just try not to bend the cardstock too much, and try not to lose too much of the ink. So it actually does have a bit of colour on the edges. I'm not doing a particularly great job, but that's because I'm doing it whilst being recorded. There we go. Sometimes I come in this side as well. That helps, and then just take that off to there. There we go. I do have one that I've done earlier in true Blue Peter fashion, so that's good. Sort your hearts out from your debris. There we go. Now, the new Take Your Pick tool is very handy for attaching these. So now I've left that for a bit, that's a bit tackier. We'll pop that down. It should mean that they can put their finger in there and lift up. Okay, but you do want it to actually stay down, so you do need to kind of hang on to that for a bit. Make sure it's stuck. Okay, so now we're going to take our tag, pop our little bit of linen thread through, like this. And remember, just be gentle, because it's a small tag and it has a small piece of cardstock between the hole and its side, so don't be yanking on it too much. There we go. Then we're going to just feed one of those through these 2 holes here, like this. Is this the front? That's the back. Make sure you've got the front facing you as you feed this through, otherwise your tag's going to end up round the other side, upside down. So feed that through the hole, feed that through the hole. Before you tie it together, just leave it like that for a second. You're going to take some of the copper ribbon, okay, and you're going to feed that through the hole as well. This is where you might need some tweezers, because it does tend to, this ribbon does fray slightly. There we go. I'm alright because I've got nails, but it does fray, so we're going to just take, well, don't panic about that, we'll take that end off. It's kind of the beauty and the pain of the ribbon that it does that, but hey ho, there we go. Right, so now we can tie this linen thread together. Just want to leave a little bit of a dangly bit, don't want it to be too close to the doghouse, but we're going to just tie it like that, and then tie it like that, and then leave that just where it is. Meanwhile, we're going to come back in and we're going to have enough of our ribbon to tie a nice, whoops, come on Pip, oh it's just moving around, normally it would have something in it, obviously, there we go. Oh, I think I've probably given myself just a little bit too much, don't think I need, where am I going, don't think I need quite so much, there we go. Better too much than too little. Right, be generous with yourself so that you can actually tie a decent bow. Okay, we're going to tie that like that, and again not too tight so it doesn't come up in a point, that's what we want, and the ribbon itself makes it look a little bit like a bone at the top. Then I just chopped these little linen thread ones off quite close to the base so you can't really see them. Oops, that one's gone inside, that's fine, there we go. And then obviously you're going to chop this off here, and we're going to chop this off here so it gets rid of that nasty bit at the end. Okay, it's not really nasty, it's just different because that's it, you can splay it out, you see, to make it look like that. That's the same ribbon, but you just do that and it sort of fray it on purpose. It's amazing stuff really. And then basically you just attach the hearts. I think I'm actually going to put that over there to hide my little mistake with my stamping, because I do make mistakes and this allows me to hide it nicely. And then that's it really, just go ahead, finish off all the other decoration and you are done. There, so there you go, add your hearts and your bones and you're done. So thanks ever so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed watching this, making your own little dog house, little kennel, and all the details are below on my about my blog, and also this card, but also how to purchase any of the items that you might like to purchase through my store. So thanks for watching, see you again soon, take care now, bye bye.